Fading the public's worked pretty well so far this season. It's cashed for the first 5 weeks, hitting over 65%. I'm going to give you the most public sides for Week 6 NFL, including the Sunday and Monday night game, and also, ding ding, a red flag public dog alert. It's all coming up free in this video right here, right now. Hi, this is Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV. And if you're new to WagerTalk TV, thanks for joining us. Make sure you click subscribe and you click that bell for instant alerts. And the Fade the Public video here is always a good one. And what I do is I give you the most public sides each week in the NFL, the most heavily bet sides, one-way action. And the premise is long-term fading these does make you money because you get adjusted line value. You're also going contrarian, which is key to handicapping the NFL. But we don't blindly fade the public. We selectively fade the public. We use this as a filter. And I always want to avoid the really ugly underdogs. And we do have a couple of them to start off the card here on Sunday. And I'll get to the Sunday night and Monday night games as well. But let's start with those two real ugly dogs here, both 1 o'clock Eastern games. Two of the most public plays this week go pretty early, and it's the Indianapolis Colts and the New England Patriots. We'll start with this Colts game at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Public wants nothing to do with the Cardinals. I get it. I don't want much to do with the Arizona Cardinals right now. And as I record this on Friday afternoon into the evening, Kyler Murray is still listed as questionable. He did practice Friday after missing Wednesday and Thursday with the foot injury. Snap hit him in the face mask last week. Jacoby Brissett had to come in for a couple snaps. That's how it's been going right now. Cardinals are a dumpster fire. And we always talk about not trying to catch a falling knife. However, is this maybe a buy low situation, buy cheap price with the Cardinals? And I say that for a few reasons. First of all, the look-ahead line this summer, Arizona was a road favorite. How crazy is that? Arizona was a 1.5-point road favorite this summer. Now they're a 7-point road underdog. Reason, of course, is because Arizona does not look very good. And the other reason is because the Colts have looked much better than expected. Daniel Jones has been revitalized in Indianapolis. Some people talk about him as a sleeper MVP candidate. Not so fast, my friend, as Lee Corso would say. I think the Colts are due to regress, but right now I rate them as the most efficient offense in the NFL. So they're the real deal. And it does concern me if Arizona gets behind in this game, which they might, that they'll have trouble catching up. However, despite the fact the Cardinals have lost 3 in a row after that, phony 2-0 start against the Panthers and Saints, keep in mind they haven't lost a game by more than 3 points all season. They've played 5 games. Everyone thinks they're a wreck, and they still have not lost any game by more than a field goal. 2 losses by exactly a point. So they're that close to being a 4-1 team, and I don't think they deserve to be. I'm not saying that. My point is this game might be a little more competitive than expected. You could definitely lean Arizona +7 if you want to fade the public here. My concern, though, is they don't throw the ball well, and if they get behind, the floodgates could open as Indianapolis is an explosive offense. So I'm going to give you a sneaky way to play this game, and that's a first quarter play on the Cardinals +2.5, or you could even look the first half at +4.5. The first quarter is very interesting. Arizona has outscored their 5 opponents in the first quarter this year 30-13. They've outscored their 5 opponents in the first half 64-39 combined. In fact, you look over the games here, they were up 3-0, 10-3, 0-0, 14-3, and they trailed 7-3. They only trailed once after the first quarter in the 5 games this season, and you're getting them at +2.5 first quarter here against the Colts. Now, Indianapolis has been a good first quarter, a really good second quarter team, but I think if you're going to play the Cardinals, if you want to fade the public here, you're better off doing so on a short-term basis with the Cardinals in the first quarter line +2.5. Now, the other really public play this week, also at 1 o'clock Eastern, is the New England Patriots. Not a surprise. Public saw what the Patriots did on national TV last Sunday night up in Buffalo. Outright underdog win is more than a touchdown dog. I liked it. I gave it to you in the video for free. Also ended up using that as a strong best bet for my clients last week on my NFL card at WagerTalk.com. So it was not a surprise to me. I think the Bills are maybe a little bit overrated this season. But you do have to wonder, is it a flat spot here for New England? All things equal, the Patriots are more than a 3.5-point better team than the Saints. I get that. But situational handicapping is very important when you're doing the NFL here. And I actually do rate the Saints as the better defensive team in this game. So whenever we get a home dog with a better defense, it does catch your eye. And this does look like a possible flat spot for a young up-and-coming New England team and also perhaps quarterback Drake May. Road divisional win, national TV at Buffalo. Now you're playing a non-conference game on the road as a more than a field goal favorite. I would lean New Orleans for that reason if you want to fade the public in this one. And once again, the concern with the Saints is they don't throw the ball well. Very mediocre numbers. They're not an explosive offense. So here again, if they get behind early, just like the Cardinals, just like most bad teams, they're going to have a tough time playing from behind. However, in this situation, unlike that Cardinals game, I would not recommend a first quarter play. I think you're better off using the Saints full game if you use them. And the reason I say that, They have been terrible in the first quarter. In fact, they didn't score a point for the first 3 games in the first quarter of this season. They've only scored 10 points. They've been outscored 51-10 in the first quarter. And you could say, well, maybe New England comes in flat, but a lot of times teams carry that momentum in and then the wheels come off. I think if you're going to play the Saints and fade the public, you're better off with the full game. Plus, you're getting that key number of plus 3.5 instead of a plus half at minus juice. Once again, Saints have been outscored 51-10 in the first quarter. So if you're going to fade the public here, I would go the full game route, plus 3.5 with New Orleans. Obviously, New England's the better team. They've got the better quarterback as well. But this does look like a difficult scheduling spot on the surface. And as far as the matchup here, I mentioned New Orleans having the better defense. Patriots are giving up almost 8 yards per pass. So maybe New Orleans and Spencer Rattler, who's been decent at times this year, will have more success through the air this week. All right, those are your 2 real public plays at 1 o'clock Eastern, Colts and Patriots. Let's move now to the later games for you here on Sunday. I'm going to have the Sunday night and the Monday night games for you. We'll start with the Sunday night game. And ding, ding, red flag alert. This is your public dog of the week, the Detroit Lions. Public is heavy on Detroit here. Yes, they're a small dog, plus 2.5, but it's still a dog nonetheless. We'll see if it hits that key number of plus 3. I seriously doubt it will. The sharper books have gone from 2 to 2.5 this week, but with the public coming in heavy on Detroit, especially this weekend and on Sunday evening when they come in even more so, I don't think you're going to find that key number of plus 3. So if you like Detroit, maybe you wait. If you like the Bills, you could play the 2.5. I'm sorry, the Bills. The Chiefs. If you like the Chiefs, you could lay the 2.5 now. I don't think it'll go to 3. More likely it will drop back down to minus 2 if you don't already have that available. And I do lean towards the Chiefs in this game. I did a standalone video for Sunday Night Football if you want to deep dive into this one. But one thing I pointed out is that Kansas City is starting to get healthy with their big playmakers at wide receiver. It looks like the offensive line's improved this year after that terrible Super Bowl performance. And I think the Chiefs could be a play-on team here in weeks to come. Coming off a loss, also what I would call a phony loss. They were up 14-0 at Jacksonville Monday night. Looked like that game was going to be a runaway, and they found a way to blow it. But they outplayed the Jags, should have won that game, and now we get a bounce-back spot, strong home field, Monday Night Football off the loss. Yes, the Detroit Lions are an explosive team. They've been so ever since that Green Bay loss. Their offense is starting to click. Didn't look too good against the Packers. That they put up 90 and 71 points the 2 games each after that. So that's 161 points, over 40 points a game the last 4 out after that loss on opening week. A little bit of a step up in class here, though, after playing Chicago, Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore, who doesn't look like a powerhouse team anymore. I'd lean Chiefs if you're going to fade the public. I like fading public dogs, and one of the reasons is, unlike getting crap teams like the Cardinals and Saints, when you fade a public dog, you get a quality team, which is the Kansas City Chiefs. So if you're looking to fade the public in this one, you're on the Chiefs side. And it should be a shootout. The total took some heavy money, opened 48.5. It's already up to 52.5 as we head into the weekend. Over a pass for me on the total, though it seems too obvious. We did lose that key number of 51, but it should be a shootout. Both teams hold the offensive edge in this matchup on Sunday Night Football. But once again, the public coming in pretty heavy this week on the Detroit Lions, and that is your one public dog of the week as well. All right, we're going to go to the Monday night game, and then I got a bonus play for you. But the 4th public play this week is your Monday night game. And by the way, there are 2 Monday night games, Buffalo at Atlanta, Chicago at Washington. I've got a 2-for-1 video for you highlighting both of those games with free plays and analysis, including that Bears-Commanders game. But I'm going to focus on the first one at 7:15 Eastern Monday night on ESPN, Bills-Falcons, because Buffalo is one of the most public sides this week in Week 6 NFL action. And once again, I think the logic is because the Bills are coming off a loss. Can't lose 2 in a row, right? Falcons, got shut out by the Panthers a couple games ago. But if you recall, by the way, Atlanta had a bye last week. They didn't play. Their last game was 2 weeks ago. If you recall, right here in this video, the public dog of the week was the Washington Commanders at Atlanta. I told you I liked the Falcons in that game. It turned out to be a best bet for my clients as well, as we faded that public dog with success with the Falcons. Public coming up against them again here, but I like the scheduling setup for Atlanta with the bye week, extra prep time, and I don't think this is just an automatic bounce-back spot for the Bills, who trailed the Ravens, should have lost that game in Week 1. As I mentioned earlier, Baltimore not looking that strong now. And then look who else they beat. Jets, Dolphins, and Saints. 3 of the worst teams in the NFL. I think Atlanta's a quality team. It's a great scheduling spot off the bye week. Penix played really well against the Commanders 2 weeks ago. His only real bad game this year was that shutout against the Panthers. He's been above 80 QB rating his other 3 starts. I think we're getting some line value here as well. Atlanta Falcons plus 4.5 if you're looking to fade the Bills, who are a very public play on Monday Night Football, 7:15 Eastern on ESPN. And don't forget, I've got a free play in that Bears-Commanders game as well for you here on the channel this weekend, as I did a 2-for-1 Monday night video. Make sure you click subscribe and you click the bell as well. You will get an instant alert when that video is posted this weekend here on WagerTalk TV. All right, those are your 4 official public sides for NFL Week 6. Colts -7, Patriots -3.5, Detroit Lions plus the 2 to 2.5, and also Monday night the Bills -4.5. Now, there was one other game that was just a bit outside from being an official public play. I always try to give you additional public leans when they're close to making the cut, and that would be the Dallas Cowboys -3, 3.5 on Sunday afternoon at 1 Eastern. Currently, Dallas -3. Not sure it'll get up to that key number of 3.5, but the Cowboys are definitely getting some public interest. So maybe if you like the Panthers, you wait to try to get a 3.5 by kickoff on Sunday. I've got another little sneaky way to play this game, and it's once again, we're going to go back to that first quarter option because here again, the Panthers, like many bad teams, just don't have the ability to catch up when they get behind, especially against an explosive offense like the Cowboys. And that was the situation last week in that New York Jets game. You remember the Cowboys were a very public play last week. Well, the Jets didn't cover, but the game was 3-3 after the first quarter. The Jets actually covered the first quarter line last week as a home dog. And I think, once again, if you're going to play the Panthers and fade the Cowboys here, you're better off shortening up the game and taking Bryce Young and a bad passing offense out of the equation. And it might very well work here. Dallas has been very mediocre, to say the least, in the first quarter. In fact, last week they tied the Jets, as I mentioned. They have not outscored any team in the first quarter all season. Dallas, in their 5 games, has been outscored 37-13 in the first quarter. They have not outscored any of their 5 opponents. So getting the Panthers at plus half a point for the first quarter, yes, it's minus like 140, would be the way to attack it, in my opinion. By the way, Carolina, as bad as they've been at times this year, they've only been outscored by 4 points total in the 5 games in the first quarter, 23-19, and they've only been outscored by more than a touchdown one time. In fact, by more than 1 point once in the 5 games. And once again, 23-19, they've been outscored. The Cowboys have been outscored in the first quarter, 37-13. So if you do fade the public with the Panthers, you're probably better off shortening it with a first quarter play on Sunday. That's an additional public lean, the Dallas Cowboys minus the 3. There you go, deep dive into the most public plays this week for Week 6 NFL. And by the way, updated record, the public did go 2-1 last week. That Jets game made the difference. But overall, the public lost the first 4 weeks. So they've still lost 4 out of the 5 weeks here in the video. And fading these official public plays this season is now 65%. It's at 13-7 with the push. And the 2 additional public leans like the Cowboys I just gave you are 2-2. So overall, 15-9 fading everything I've given you in this video. So it's been working well so far. We'll see if it holds up. You know, last year the public did well in September, then started to give it back mid-October. We'll see if it's a reverse this year. What are your thoughts on these games? Where do you agree or disagree with the public? What NFL best bets do you like for Sunday? Drop them in the comments below. Hey, include some analysis if you have time. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And I do truly read the comments and I reply back. Love the support. And if you're liking these videos, all I ask is a thumbs up like. Click the thumbs up like. Takes 2 seconds. And I will keep these free play videos coming each and every week. Don't forget, I do all the Thursday night games for you. We had a rare miss on the Thursday night game this week. Still 6-1 on your Thursday night free plays on Prime. And then, of course, Sunday, the Monday night games. I've got both Monday night games for you, as I mentioned, including that Commanders and Bears free play here on the channel. Tons of college football videos each and every week. Baseball playoffs. And don't forget, the NBA starts next week, 1 week away from the start of the basketball season. So, yes, it's a great time to watch free play videos here on WagerTalk TV. But how about getting my official best bets that go out to my personal clients? And they're the exact same games I'm using each and every week. Get my strong Sunday NFL best bets right now. And when you do so, check out some special offers. All sports, all access specials this weekend. No promo codes needed. Instant savings. 7 days for $77. All sports, all access. Or how about buy 3 months, get the 4th month for free? That's $300 instant savings. Or the best deal, especially if you're ready to take a serious, consistent investment approach, is get the rest of this year free. The next 2.5 months of 2025 free when you sign up in advance for 2026. If you're ready to take a serious investment approach, get the next 14.5 months. Don't wait till January 1st. Don't wait for that New Year's resolution to kick in. Sign up now and get the next 2.5 months for free when you buy a 1-year all access. By the way, that works out to about $1 a play because you're getting every college and pro football, college and pro basketball, Major League Baseball best bet for normally the next 365 days and nights, plus I'm including the next 2.5 months for free. Check out the special offers and look, it doesn't matter if you get a 1 day, a 1 week, a 1 month, or a 1 year. Every client's getting the exact same best bets that I am personally using each day, and it's been that way since I started over 29 years ago in August of 1996. And oh, by the way, I post a bonus free play every day. It's usually the last cut from my best bet card, so it's still a strong opinion. Go check out the bonus free play. I've got one up there for Sunday NFL right now. And also check out the best bet special offers. Steve Merril, WagerTalk.com. And hey, get there quicker with shortcut wt.buzz/SM. On the way out, don't forget to follow me on social media on X and Instagram at Steve Merril, 2 R's, 1 L, Merril, at Steve Merril on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to Wager Talk TV because you know there's more free play videos, including that 2-for-1 Monday night free play video coming up next.